Sweet 84-year-old activist nun Megan Rice apparently belongs to an activist group that believes in freezing and storing the human blood of deceased members of her activist group so that years later that blood can be used in crime scenes when they break in, sabotage nuclear power plants, and spatter that deceased person's blood all over the place. Wish I was kidding about that.
Average Dude has something to say about...
Everybody, welcome back. Last episode, I talked about the story of 84-year-old Catholic nun Megan Rice and her accomplices Michael Walli and Greg Boertje-Obed, probably butchering his name again, but these are the three that broke into the Oak Ridge, Tennessee uranium plant in July of 2012. And the story, it's all over the news, it's world news, and people are so divided on this. They are either in complete support of these activists and this poor 84-year-old nun, because she does good work, or they're obsessed over the complete and total lack of security at this uranium plant, because boy, they fumbled big time. But nobody wanted to talk about one particular issue that was involved in the story. These three activists, when they got in, they spattered human blood on the walls. Human blood. And I said this in the last episode. Where did this human blood come from? Who did this human blood come from? And I mentioned that most of these news stories and video coverages, news segments from various news stations, they'll mention the human blood once and then move on. They won't explain or anything. And the Huffington Post didn't even mention it. But now they have. The Huffington Post, and I have the link down below, they have a more recent, they did another article on this situation, a more recent one, and they did, about halfway down, mentioned the human blood element and then moved on, same as all the others. There's a link down below that I have about a news segment covering the issue that actually shows video and images of the crime scene itself and what they did, showing these cryptic messages written on the wall, taking biblical passages from the Bible out of context. This group, this activist group, really reeks of cult, if you ask me, because what Christian church denomination would ever approve of using human blood in an act like this? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. The use of human blood spattered on walls? Pretty much any Christian denomination I can think of that has any good reputation of any kind would write it off as either being satanic or a cult. A cult. I would say that this group is probably a cult. And watch them, because they are, as I said, they're escalating. This 84-year-old nun pretty much told the judge, give me a life sentence. She was daring the judge. These three activists, they've been doing this for a long time, and they're getting more and more bold, and this activist group is getting more and more bold. Human blood? And I'll explain that later, because, ooh, boy, is there a lot to say. But yeah, they show video and images of what was written on the wall, and this news anchor woman doesn't explain, just shows it, mentions the human blood, and then she spends the rest of the time, oh, poor 84-year-old woman, she really didn't deserve this. You've got to be kidding me. Too many of the news stories are making her out and these three out to be heroes. That is so pathetic. Oh, but there's a news station that actually interviewed another one of the activists, part of this activist group. His name is Paul Mango. He's a member of the group. He was being interviewed, and they talked about it. In fact, you see the link down below on that one. I hope that link doesn't disappear. Good Lord, I hope it doesn't disappear. But yeah, they have a banner. You know how news segments tend to have like a little banner with text down below, and it says, human blood painted on nuclear warehouse. And I thought, finally, there's going to be an answer. And I'm thinking, do I really want to hear the answer to this? Yeah, we got an answer, but boy, does it raise more questions. Holy crap, let me take a moment. Okay, thank you, because I needed to take a moment to prepare. Brace yourself. 1 minute, 50 seconds into this interview, the interviewer asks the $1,000,000 question. Whose blood was it? And then this dude, he takes a moment and he finally says, quote, "It was the blood of several activists contributing to the effort. There has been some media coverage of deceased peace activist named Tom Lewis, whose blood was used in this action among others." WTF? Deceased activist! Among others! Whoa! This needs an explanation. Oh my God. And the interviewer immediately moves on to other questions. Seriously? Ask about this. This needs an explanation. You have a major crime scene in a United States nuclear power compound break-in with blood-spattered and cryptic frickin' Holy Bible passages on there. Human blood used from a deceased member, among others, and oh my God, this interviewer dropped the ball. Yeah, who was Tom Lewis, by the way? He was a longtime activist. I got links down below and all this, too. He was a longtime activist that was part of the Cantonville Nine. He was an infamous activist. Boy, yeah. I said before, be careful with activists. They tend to start off good, but they develop tunnel vision, and they become obsessed, driven, and focused so much that the ends justify the means in their eyes, and they are willing to write everything off as collateral damage. It's all about the goal. They don't care on down the road who they hurt or what they do. They don't think that they should face any consequences because it's all explainable because of the big bad evil, and it's not. They become corrupt, horribly corrupt. So this guy, Tom Lewis, he passed away in April of 2008. This break-in in Oak Ridge, Tennessee was back in July of 2012. Think about this. This activist group kept his blood since 2008. Link below, quote, "They poured and splashed blood that had once been in the veins of a painter activist named Tom Lewis, one of the Cantonsville Nine who in Hiroshima Day 1987 hammered on the bomb racks of an anti-submarine plane at the South Weymouth Naval Air Station near Boston. In 2008, Lewis died in his sleep, and his blood was frozen so that he might one day participate in the last Plowshares action." Wow! And the interviewer moved right on. Nobody wants to truly dive in and get answers on this. What is with this group? What are they going to do next? Might one day participate in the one last Plowshares action? Pardon me for stumbling over the words, but I don't believe that this is the last one. They're escalating. And on that note, till next time.